y'all? Welcome back to the Hustle and Harmony podcast. I'm Julia.
And I'm Emily.
And we're actually going to be starting a little bit of a beauty series for the next couple of episodes. And today, we're just going to talk about a few makeup tips and things that we've learned that have helped us either learn how to get our makeup done more quickly or certain things that are like easy to do that we feel like make a big difference.
That we wish we'd known earlier.
Yeah, there's so many things that I'm like, if I would have just known this one thing like a few years ago, I'll go back and look at photos and I'm like, oh my gosh, Julia, what were you doing?
It's funny because I definitely don't feel like an expert on this topic.
Yeah, we know nothing.
But a lot of what I've learned has been from Julia. And you've also worked a lot with professionals too, just like being an artist. So I'm super excited to like talk about it and also learn from you too during it.
Mine's been a lot of trial and error. So I can tell you a lot of mistakes not to make, more so than I can tell you exactly what to do. But it's so interesting to not feel like an expert on something that I still have to do or have done every day, like every video, every photo shoot.
Well,
whatever.
I personally think your makeup is amazing. So,
well,
I think you do a great job.
That's why I keep you around, hype girl. But yeah, you're right though. I have learned a lot more tips and tricks from working with makeup artists and just like seeing what they do. So Colleen has worked with me on a lot of different things. She did my Opry debut and did my makeup for a bunch. And she's been one of the most amazing makeup artists for actual like teaching me.
Okay. And
a lot of them will spin you around and not let you look in the mirror, and you don't know what they're doing to your face until they turn you around and you look back in the mirror.
That's so scary.
It's super scary. And like, I've had it be terrible many times when I turned around and I'm like, this is not going to work. And
I have a horror story like that from literally just like 8th
prom
grade dance. Yeah. I let my friend who was
gosh.
a cheerleader do my makeup. I had a black and white dress.
Yeah.
And I was like, she's a cheerleader. She does makeup all the time. She's going to be great. And of course, she just made like my entire eyelid black, basically. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, I look scary.
Something I've learned is that it's about your specific face shape more so than it is about only knowing how to do makeup the best way.
Yeah.
So someone might be really, really good at doing it on their own face, but if they try to do it on yours, they don't understand your eyelids or they don't understand the way that you need to be contoured or whatever it is.
So what have you learned about your face?
So
because I have your face.
Yeah.
Let me know.
Okay, so what I've learned about my face, I guess, is I don't think I look at any of the technical rules right. Yeah. But certain things that I've been introduced to that have made a bigger difference. It's not even specific to my face other than like learning what kind of eyeshadow I like is more my eye shape. But I learned how to use certain products that would actually make things last longer and actually apply better. So if you put on primer before you do your makeup, it really does make your makeup last a lot longer and just at least stay the way you thought it looked when you left the house for a longer period of the day. And sometimes I go home and it still looks like that. Yeah.
I feel like my lotion kind of does that. Do you do lotion and then primer on top?
Yes.
And it's like a totally different?
Yes.
Okay.
So
what primer do you use?
I have two different ones that I like. One is a MAC primer. Okay. Actually, I have 3 different ones. I've been sent tons of different makeup from different companies. So it's not like I swear by this one thing. But I do like the MAC ones that I've used and the Doll 10 one that I have. So I kind of will just like use it, and then when I run out,
I love the Doll 10 girls when I met them at your show.
I am
they
obsessed
were
with
so
them. Also,
sweet.
Their makeup's so wonderful. Like my favorite concealer is a Doll 10 concealer.
No, because I remember seeing them at your show, and they were handing out little products, and they were talking about how they had given you like a case of their makeup, and you were telling me how much you loved it.
It's been really fun getting introduced to people who are really passionate about art in a different space, and makeup artists and designers and people who do hair. It's their own art. I mean, it really is an incredible skill to have learned how to be able to do it on other people, because every canvas is its own thing, and you have to fit the scene and fit the direction of what artist is going for. And actually something I just learned doing a photo shoot for a clothing brand, it can be very dicey when you're trying to make the subject of the shoot look the way they feel pretty looking, but also fit the brand's desired image for that shoot, because they wanted me to look a different way than I normally look. One of the main things that I've noticed is different about my makeup preferences to some other people is I really like a more natural look, especially when it comes to colors. So
yeah, I'm the same way.
You know me, everything is like golds, bronze, browns, tans since the beginning of time. And it's the same way with my makeup. And I really don't care about having a difference in it every day and making it a different part of my style. It's just like,
you know, it works for you. You do it every morning. It's routine.
Consistency. Like I can do it really fast.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people who will makeup artists or friends will like try to do your makeup with a dark eye.
Yeah.
And if that's just not your thing, you don't have to try and make it your thing.
Yeah.
Like it's okay. Like you don't have to match the outfit. You don't have to do dark because you're going out to dinner. Like just do whatever makes you comfortable. But one of the things that I've realized made a big difference on kind of like if you have like under eye bags and you feel like your makeup, for me for a long time, it just always felt like I looked better before I would put the like skin makeup on and before I put powder on or anything, and it would make me look wrinkly or like right here under my eyes.
I've definitely had that happen.
I'm like, why is it doing this? I actually liked it better without any makeup on.
Yeah.
And then I realized, one, the primer helps like smooth your skin out there.
Cool.
And then putting concealer on there, it's the type of makeup that you use on that very, very thin part of your skin is important.
Yeah.
And it can make your entire face look so much like it can make your entire face look super tired if you do it incorrectly or use the wrong makeup, which I have done for years and finally have just been like, okay, so it's a very bright light concealer here. Like your tan skin makeup is not supposed to go right there.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And obviously anyone who knows makeup is like, duh.
Yeah.
But for me, that took me so many years to like eye-opening, finally realized that. And my friend Kaylee Rose, I remember we were getting ready for a show in Houston, Texas. She flew down. We were going to do this duet together at the Cynthia Mitchellwoods Pavilion. And we were doing our makeup in the bathroom. And she goes, okay, let me just tell you like a couple of quick little tips I've learned. And one is no matter what you do, like on your eyeshadow, keeping the inside right here, and then, or I guess I'm describing this for the podcast, people who aren't watching, the inside of your eyelid, like above your inner eyelashes, and then right between like your nose and your eye crease, like doing like a very bright, like highlightery, light color. Just makes your eyes look so much more open and awake and bright.
One thing that I had one of my friends tell me in high school, and I did for a while, I've kind of gotten in and out in phases of it. I feel like it goes in and out of style, is doing the white eyeliner like on your bottom eyelid right there. And it just makes your eyes look bigger.
Yeah. I think that finding exactly what little pieces make you feel comfortable that you can do quickly help. I also have, like if I'm going out, oh my gosh, the new discovery I just made. Remember the, I was like freaking out about it when I showed you the lip stain.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so
lip stain is so trending right now.
It's trending and it kind of has been for a while, but I just tried it for the first time, like a week ago with you. And I was just like,
that's crazy. It's like black on her lips.
It's like a very dark purple, I guess. They all look super dark. It doesn't matter what color it ends up being whenever you first put it on, and you kind of overline your lips. Like I go underneath it a little bit further than where my lip actually is, and above it a little bit further, but not wide. So don't go outside on the edges.
Okay.
And then you just let it sit, and it hardens kind of like a face mask would.
Yeah.
And when you take it off, I mean, I've never, ever had a lip color last an entire concert until this.
Dang.
I mean, a 90-minute set where I'm singing and drinking bourbon the whole show. And I've even worn it to a dinner, and it fades some because I ate, but it was still there. Remember we ate after the show and you were like, your lips are still there. It was after that show in Georgia. It was crazy. So
I can't wait to try it. I need to, because it looks really good.
Whatever, if you don't like a dark lip, try to find, because I still haven't found a color that I really love of it. Like the ones I have, I still think are all too dark.
Okay.
So like go for I'm still going to experiment with it too, but go for the lightest one you
Finding
can
the
find.
right shade.
This is advice for
That's
you.
the issue that I have is like how much time it takes to try new makeup.
Yeah.
And it's just not like my priority / I'm probably going to go work out in like an hour or so.
Yeah.
Especially if like with the lip stain, like you said, once it's on for a long time. And so it's like, if you really don't like the color, that's frustrating. But I just need to get over that fear and try more.
Or just wait until I find the right color and I'll send
yeah,
it to
then
you.
tell me. That's a
we
way
both
better
know
idea.
that's what's going to happen.
That's so fair.
Okay, that was one of my other, I'm trying to think of just like random, eyebrows. Yeah. Neither one of us, we talked about this a little bit on a different episode, but it actually, like, when doing your makeup, it is one of the biggest ways to just make your eyes look, I don't know, more awake, open.
It just makes you look more put together.
Brush
like
your eyebrows, even if you're not doing your makeup.
Yeah.
Just like cleaning that up. I had no idea until whatever last year, maybe we both discovered. You're the one who started the eyebrows. That's what we talked about on a different episode. I was like, you win this one.
I did. Yeah, I remember seeing Renee No on TikTok talking. She's a model runner. She's actually started this new running club called No Bad Vibes, and I am such a big fan. I love her, everything she's doing. And I remember seeing her make a TikTok about how she's like, the one thing that I cannot leave my house without doing is brushing my eyebrows. And I had just
Paxton
never
did that too.
even thought about that before. And then like I realized it doesn't even have to be gel, like just brushing them. And it's literally like brushing your hair. Like it makes sense once you finally realize it.
It does.
But if you're not used to it, you're just like, yeah, that's just what they look like. But then you brush them and you're like, oh, wait, they look good now.
Yeah.
But the other thing that I had someone recommend to me and also saw off TikTok, everything I learned is from TikTok, was these eye drops that make your eyes look a little whiter, like if your eyes are reddish from allergies or anything. And it's very mixed reviews, I feel like, on them, because I've heard they're not good for your eyes. Obviously, you're putting eye drops in to make your eyes whiter and get rid of the redness. But I
wonder if it's like chapstick, where it's like if you overhydrate, then your eyes don't hydrate themselves enough. I just wonder what that issue is.
It seems less like a hydration thing to me and more like a chemical thing that's making the redness go away. Oh. I have literally no clue what the science is behind it.
Okay.
But it makes your eyes look whiter, which can help a lot with like making your face look brighter. And so if I have like a really nice event, I will do that. Mm-hmm. And I have a lot of things that I like don't do for health reasons. So I'm like, I can do the eye drops if I want to.
Yeah.
And I really do like them. I don't do them often. I went through a period where I was doing them like a lot and I was like, okay, I should probably chill out.
Another makeup, like this isn't really makeup, but I feel like it's on the same trend or this conversation. I've tried to experiment with different, like,
I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, I've tried to experiment with different, how can I make my life easier by getting, the fake eyelashes that just stay on or whatever it is, because I'm being filmed and photographed all the time. And it's like annoying sometimes to just not have your eyelashes or not have makeup on. So anyway, I tried the fake eyelashes thing where it was the ones where you like go to a lady and she glues each individual eyelash on and they last for like 3 to 4 weeks.
Okay.
I did that for probably a year and it wasn't terrible, but it was a little uncomfortable. And it like,
while you were doing it and after?
While I was doing it and after.
Okay.
And it always, that last like week, it would look worse than if you just like didn't have fake eyelashes before you got them done again. So it like creates this cycle of like, shoot, now I really have to get back and get them done. So I like eventually got them off and they did kind of mess up my eyelashes. Obviously, like you've got these heavy weighted things glued on your eyes, like they're gonna pull out your eyelashes or shorten them or whatever. So I didn't do anything for probably a year after that and was like, okay, my eyelashes are back to normal, grew them, but my eyelashes kind of grow out straight. Like they don't have any curl to them. And I went to get my eyelashes permed thinking like, oh, this is going to fix it. And it did once.
Yeah, because I remember you calling me and being like, this is the best thing ever.
One time, it looked so great. My eyelashes were curled.
Can you kind of explain what perming is just in case someone doesn't know?
Yeah, so if you perm your eyelashes, basically, like, I've never had my hair permed or anything like that, but it's the same concept. It's like if you've watched Legally Blonde, you know, the perm that Elle Woods talks about. Yeah. It's like you
can't get your eyelashes wet.
Yeah, you put this chemical on your eyelashes and they basically just like tape them back on your eyelids and they're just in a curl to like just let the chemical set.
Yeah.
And if you leave it for the right amount of time, when you take it off, your eyelashes are just like curled the right amount. If you leave it on too long, which is what happened the second time, either it was too long or it was the culmination of it had happened 2 times and my eyelashes just couldn't handle it. I don't know. But my eyelashes like curled up to where you just like couldn't see them anymore. My friend Jada did my makeup for an event like the next week and she was like, I can't even put fake eyelashes on your eyelashes because they're so curled. Oh it was crazy. So it took probably 2 months for them to like straighten back out. And then even at that point, they were brittle and super short. And it was just like pretty bad for a few months.
That is actually so annoying.
It was really sad. So I will never do that again. And so now I guess what I'm kind of in between is just normal mascara because I've finally gotten my eyelashes to grow back out. Mm-hmm. But I really do actually like a product that Kaylee showed me, and it's called, well, there's a bunch of different types of it. Probably the most popular one is called Lashify. Okay. But it's where you apply your own fake eyelashes in like little pieces, not the full eyelash. Okay. And it's where you can kind of pick how much you want. And a lot of times I'll only do the outer edge because I don't need a full eye of fake eyelashes, but just a little extra on the side. Yeah. So I like that you can kind of customize it to what you want. And they only last a few days. They're not like, oh, this is going to be on for 3 weeks kind of a glue. So, and then there's a remover stick that you can also use that has like an oil that they just come right off nicely.
That's so nice.
And what I've learned from those is they actually like kind of curled my natural eyelashes up for me.
Yeah, because I was like, Julia, your eyelashes are so curled and pretty once you took your fake ones off.
So if I go between the two, like right now I'm like for the last 2 weeks I haven't had to use them because they had already been like kind of curled up. So I don't know if that's just my mind telling myself that because I didn't feel like wearing them for a little while, but I was just,
No, because I was literally like, Julia, your eyelashes look amazing, natural.
When I go back on tour, I'm going to use them again just because stage makeup is totally different than like real life makeup for sure. But that's the glue that you buy for it if you decide to do lashes like that. There's a lash one that you can apply the glue like a mascara, like a stick. You don't put it on like it's not like when you squirt glue on like those fake eyelashes. It's like it goes on the whole eyelash and then you glue the lashes on the eyelash.
That's crazy.
And you can kind of like press them together like that and they'll stay. So lots of little tiny makeup tips, I guess, today that are just what we kind of do. It doesn't mean it's like right or wrong, but I'm always trying to figure out how can I do something that is going to last kind of a long time and also be able to be done very quickly. Yeah. And that's more of my method. So I hope some of those tips help some people.
Yeah. I guess for me, I know I've talked before about how whenever I run, I've done like a little bit of a routine sometimes where I'll do my eyebrows and a little bit of mascara. I don't even really like concealer because it'll just get in my pores. But I just looked up the mascara that I use because I'm such a big fan of it. It is called the Falsies Push Up Angel by Maybelline, New York. And I've literally used it since like my senior year of high school. And the reason why I love it is because I don't even exactly know what it's called. The brush looks more like a comb on the end. So it combs out your eyelashes to keep them super separated. I've never really liked chunky looking mascara. And I also think that that's more because I'm looking for a more like casual day to day.
Don't you also have a mascara like comb? Because I've seen you go back and like comb your eyelashes. Yeah,
I ordered that on Amazon like a month ago, and
you like it?
I do.
Okay,
It's mainly like if I really need it, like my eyelashes are like crisscrossed. Yeah, I actually. Right before this episode in the bathroom, I had one eyelash that was like going horizontal. You're going to kill me. I plucked it.
Emily, what is going on?
I've never done that before in my life, but yeah, anyways, RIP to my eyelash. Don't do that. Don't do that at home. Not the recommendation of the episode. Anyways, the other makeup thing that I have really stood by for a long time that I love is the Pure, P-U-R, 4-in-1 powder. I don't use like a liquid foundation underneath the powder. It's supposed to be a 4-in-1 so that you don't have to. And I just do that and then blush and bronzer on top and just kind of keep it really natural. But I remember when you showed me just like what bronzer was, and I still have friends that like don't know what bronzer is, and bronzer will literally change your life.
I think we also are naturally like tan. So bronzer for us is kind of our like face powder.
Yeah.
Because I don't even use a normal face powder. It's just like foundation, bronzer.
Make me look as tan as possible.
No, it's bad. It's definitely
It's funny because I like sometimes, I'm not even gonna lie, I'll be like looking pale and then I just put on all my tan makeup and then it does match my skin. So it like looks good. It doesn't look like it's a different color than my body. Yeah. But it is crazy how like different of a color it can be once you put it on. I love it.
For the last like few years, I think when I went to Africa with Emmy and we got the worst sunburns of our life in Zanzibar, I just like was scared of the sun for literally over a year. And that's very unlike me. Like I'm obsessed with the sun. So this was like a massive life change. So anyway, I started like full time wearing sunscreen on my face. And I've realized that it's the same thing. Like it's like I don't have to put it on, but as soon as I put on like the tanner makeup, it actually does match the rest of my skin because I won't wear sunscreen pretty much anywhere else, but my face is like
you do. That's what's different about us now. Is like when you tan, you've said how like you would even used to put like a towel over your face because your face would tan so much.
My face gets dark.
My face is the complete opposite. Like my body will get tan and my face will not. So that's like the one gene that we got differently.
Yeah, that's super weird.
But one of the other big like life-changing things, honestly, that's a dramatic way to say it, but whenever you told me about it was just using face tanning lotion. And there are a bunch of different kinds. I actually love to do just normal CeraVe lotion, but then I add 3 tanning drops to it and then just rub it around.
The tanning drops thing, it's a new invention that I've seen. I haven't actually used the tanning drops. I've used like the full body self tanner. I'll like take drops of that and put it in like lotion. But it's probably the same thing.
Yeah. It's also, I think, saves money to do the tanning drops because I just get a jar and it lasts forever. Yeah. But yeah, I've loved doing that. So.
Well, I think those are our makeup tips for the very basic makeup, you know, I don't even know what to call it. For the makeup beginner like us.
Intro to makeup, everything that we wish we knew whenever we started from non-experts.
That we still don't actually know if we're doing any of it right. But we try. Book club Q&A?
Yeah, let's do it.
The next part of the series is going to be our information on hair and just kind of hair care, hair products, some of the things that we use. Again, not experts, but I feel like we both have long, healthy hair and we're doing something that's all right. So yeah. Book club for you today.
So my book for the week is actually, I finished The Women, which is one that I had mentioned earlier. And it's so funny because I remember on the last episode when I talked about it, I was like, oh yeah, it's about this nurse that goes to war. And then now I'm like, oh my God, it's about so much more.
No, there's literally a group text with our family right now that Emily sent the most dramatic text about this book in the world. And my mom was like, what's the drama? I need to know the tea.
Okay, it wasn't that dramatic. I just said, actually, I don't recommend it anymore. Don't read it. It's because I was like crying about it. Aww. It's just very emotional, but it takes you through the girl's like whole life, and it's a very very beautiful story. I'm pretty sure it's historical fiction.
Okay.
So now that I know more about it, it's all based around the Vietnam War. And so like at the end, the author's note was that she grew up during the Vietnam War and she got to see all of the vets come back and they just were not treated well. And it wasn't like a war that had really gone well. It was really awkward because people were just realizing that we were losing the war and a lot of people were protesting it. And so they come back from the war and there's like no celebration. It's like, we hate you, like spitting on them, like bad. Yeah. And I didn't understand this context about the Vietnam War before I read this. But obviously there were so many women nurses there too. And this author spoke with a lot of these nurses. And one of the most common things they spoke about was how whenever they came back from the war and they tried to get support and help and therapy, everyone was like, no, this is just for vets that fought. Like, there were no women in Vietnam. And they were like, we were literally there. Like, no, there were no women in Vietnam. And so it's kind of all about that and like their transition coming back into society. And yeah, it was a very heart-wrenching and beautifully written book. And I, at the end of the day, would recommend it. But it was 14 hours on the audio book, which was a long time.
So you have to be willing to put the time in.
Absolutely. So that's my book for the week. Julia, what do you have?
My book this week is Harry Potter, book 5.
Oh, you're getting through them.
I just started it, so I will have to give you my first real review of that book next week.
Love it. And then for our Q&A, so our question for the week was from our story Q&A that we put up on our Instagram account, and it is, what's your favorite sport to attend in person?
Oh, I love that question. And we're both just going to answer this one today because I think we both have different answers for it. My favorite sport to watch live is basketball. I think it is so fun. There's so much scoring. It's high intensity. No one's wearing helmets, so I can actually see the players and like their emotions.
Yeah.
Even just from playing the sport, I can relate to some of the emotions they're feeling whenever they're like, when someone elbows somebody or when something like they're, fighting or a jump ball and they're both just fighting for their life. Like I can just relate so much to the tension. It's so intense. And I like that. It's 5-on-5 and everybody's very involved. There's not someone who's just like sitting off on the side, like waiting to participate. So that's probably my favorite one to watch.
I'm actually going to steal your sport here. I was definitely going to say volleyball.
Wow.
Which I know all my track people are going to be mad at me, but I just love volleyball.
I do love volleyball to pieces.
It's so fun to watch. Like, by far, the team that I went to watch the most games at Duke was our women's volleyball team.
I think it hurts me too much to watch because I want to play.
Yeah.
And that's the difference.
You're like so emotionally. That's how I feel with track.
Yeah.
When I watch track, it's like so many emotions going on inside me. It's not the same as watching volleyball where I'm just like, whoa.
Yeah, it's entertainment if it's a different sport. It's like me going to a country music concert versus going to like a hip hop show. If I go to a country music show, I'm like studying how many pieces they have on stage and what type of backdrop and what's the setup for this or that. And then when it's a hip hop show, I'm like, oh my God, Wiz Khalifa put a giant bong on stage. This is insane.
Yeah. It is crazy how whenever it's not your field, how much more you're able to enjoy the craft.
Dad used to say the same thing about restaurants. He was like, I can't go to a restaurant without thinking like, how did they decorate it? What are their servers doing? What's the menu look like?
I do remember him saying
so it makes a lot of sense. But I think that wraps it up for today's episode. And we will see y'all next week for part 2 of our beauty series.
We're going to be talking about all of the hair care tips that we do. So can't wait to see you then. And we'll talk to you soon.
Love y'all. Thank y'all so much for listening to this episode of Hustle and Harmony.
Please leave us a 5-star review or comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on socials at Julia Cole Music and at Emily Cole.
We'll love you forever either way, and we can't wait to see y'all next week.
See y'all then.